Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Drew Carney, and we start with an update on the Larch Creek fire that continues to grow in Wasco County. The latest update from fire officials just a few hours ago has it covering 10,000 acres at this point, which is up 1,500 acres from last night. It's also still 0% contained. That being said, the Oregon Department of Forestry also pointed out that the fire's growth has actually slowed down. They credit that to cooler weather and less windy conditions. This is all happening in a rural part of Wasco County, about 20 miles south of the Dalles. Also in this morning's update, Central Oregon Fire says that a team with the State Forestry Department will partner with what's known as the State Fire Marshal's Green Team to take over command starting tonight. Nearly 700 people remain under Level 3 Go Now evacuation orders on both sides of Highway 197. Another 1,800 people have been told to be ready to go in case the fire gets worse.
With this rapid wind, it can be 2 miles away, and a few minutes later, it could be right at their feet.
The Wasco County Sheriff's Office told us that one firefighter did end up in the hospital yesterday for heat-related reasons. New here at noon, the city of Battle Ground is now under a total burn ban because of this week's high heat and dry conditions. So that means all recreational fires are prohibited until further notice. Propane barbecues are still okay. Unincorporated Clark County has also expanded its full burn ban until further notice. That's on top of the county's burn bans that took effect late last week. Self-contained camp stoves for outdoor cooking are still allowed. Also new at noon, Washington County is reporting 2 more deaths that are believed to be heat-related. One was an 87-year-old man, the other a 73-year-old woman. So that brings Oregon's total number of suspected heat-related deaths to 11 over the past week. The other 9 include 5 in Multnomah County, 1 in Clackamas County, another one in Washington County, and 2 in southern Oregon in Coos and Jackson counties, where temperatures got as high as 110 degrees. All right, temperatures not that high today, Rod. In fact, we're seeing quite the cool down from what we had just about 48 hours ago. What's happening there behind you on that map there?
Yeah, well, I do want to point out that we still have some heat alerts, advisories, warnings. They're kind of different categories, but everything colored on the map behind me in southern and over into southeastern Oregon, including Baker County and Baker City, still under some sort of warnings for high temperatures. Now, even spots that will be near 100 degrees in these areas today have been like 104, 105. So even those spots are now seeing some cooling. And spots like the Gorge, where we had still heat warnings up yesterday, those are no longer signs that the air mass is cooling. And also signs that the only red color for high fire danger is the one up in Yakima. That's a visual indicator that the wind fields overall have faded down, and Drew just told you the story about the Larch Creek fire at least growing at a slower pace. Here's winds later today at 5:20. There's mopping 16 miles per hour from the west. 24 hours ago, that wind speed was gusting to more like 30 or 35, so that is helpful. Still some 30-mile-per-hour gusts later today out in the Columbia Basin. Temperatures, I mean, it's still 91 in Burns, 91 in Baker City, 91 in Pendleton, hot at noon. But look at the 70s from Kelso, and then even Salem's holding at 79. Portland right now, we are at 75 degrees. Yesterday, it was 84 at noon. How about that for an improvement? I still think we could go as warm as 88 or at least 86 this afternoon for high. But Drew, staying in the 80s today would snap what had been a 7-day run consecutively of 90-plus degree temperatures. Back to you.
All right, I know we'll have your 7-day coming up here, Rod, in just a few minutes. Right now, though, we want to take a look at some of this afternoon's other local headlines. A man is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a hit-and-run crash in the Kenton neighborhood of North Portland. Officers were called to the area of North Columbia Boulevard and Argyle Way, where they found the man injured on the ground. The driver left the scene before police arrived. So far, they haven't released a description of the suspect or their vehicle. Multnomah County deputies are investigating an explosion that happened early this morning in Gresham. Deputies say a homemade device went off in the area of South Pleasant Home Road, just north of Bluff. A piece of debris hit a home, causing some damage, but did not start a fire or hurt anyone. Federal investigators are helping detectives look into this further. A man is expected to appear in court this afternoon following a string of arsons that happened early yesterday morning. Investigators say John Martin intentionally set these fires, including one that burned an old cafe at Northeast 28th and Sandy. Portland Fire and Rescue says that fire started at a homeless camp right in front of the property. Another business in that area posted on Instagram that someone set something on fire and put it through their mail slot. Also this afternoon, we have an update on a shooting that locked down a southeast Portland neighborhood last night. Police say the suspect fired at officers and a bystander while he was trying to run from them. Police say it all started when they tried to pull the man over for a traffic violation. The driver took off, and when officers eventually tracked him down near Southeast Main and Taylor, they say he ran again, firing shots at officers and a driver who was passing by. No one was hit. Police say the man ran into a nearby park at that point, shot himself, and later died in the hospital.
Certainly it's enormously concerning when we have somebody firing shots in the neighborhood, and we're grateful that no one was hurt besides the suspect.
Detectives are asking anyone with information about this or anyone who may have shot video with their phones to contact Portland Police. A former high school football coach accused of slapping and shaking players at an overnight sports camp has officially been charged with 12 counts of harassment. McMinnville police say the coach, Jamal Jones, turned himself in yesterday, nearly 3 weeks after the incident happened. Jones was the head coach at Westview High School in the Beaverton School District, and he also served as a Hillsborough police officer. McMinnville police did a welfare check on an overnight football camp that happened at Linfield University. Jones was not arrested that day, but he was placed on administrative leave from the Beaverton School District pending an investigation. The next day, he resigned. One mother who says her son was hit in the face by Jones says she is still very frustrated with the outcome of his charges.
I do not think that a Class B misdemeanor is what he deserves. I believe in my heart, wholeheartedly, looking at the videos and knowing what he did, I believe that he should have assault charges and should have jail time.
Jones was processed at the Yamhill County Jail and is expected to be released pending a future court date. There was an outpouring of support at Autzen Stadium in Eugene last night for a former Oregon Duck. Kyrie Jackson was killed along with 2 other people in a car crash in Maryland this past weekend. Jackson was just 24 years old. KGW's Alma McCarty brings us more from last night's vigil in Eugene.
Wednesday night, outside Autzen Stadium and in, a legacy honored. Kyrie Jackson remembered.
His interviews were always excellent, and he's always smiling, and he always said how much he loved Oregon.
Early Saturday morning, Jackson and 2 of his high school friends and teammates died after their car was struck by a driver attempting to change lanes at a high speed. Maryland police say their car left the road and hit multiple tree stumps.
It was just, it was a horrifying thing.
It hit hard, so when I heard the news, definitely had to come here, show respect.
Described as competitive, passionate, authentic, remembered fondly by those who knew him best, from his coaches to his team.
Kyrie had a goal. He had a goal to play in to make it to the NFL. Kyrie made that goal.
Kyrie was one of those guys that you wanted to be around every day. No matter what it was, if you're around Kyrie, you're going to have a good day.
Watching Kyrie make you want to just play better. And, him not being here no more kind of, it don't sit right.
I think Kyrie is everything he touched or everything he came into contact with. It wasn't the same once he left.
Me being here at Oregon has helped, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
I swear, he gets me, he hypes me up. Just looking at him on that video.
Kyrie's parents with words of gratitude for the Ducks.
I want to thank the community of Eugene and the surrounding areas for embracing our son and giving him a place where he could be himself and just ball out. You guys just gave Kyrie a real chance here. You guys will always be family to us.
Again, that was Alma McCarty reporting for us this afternoon. As for the crash itself, prosecutors in Maryland say they still need more evidence to determine if someone will be criminally charged in that case.